For decades, many professions rewarded the same pattern. Learn a specialized skill, practice it for years, and your value increases steadily over time. But something unusual is beginning to happen. In some fields, the skills that once defined expertise are becoming easier to replicate, while a different set of abilities is quietly becoming more important. AI is not simply automating tasks, it is changing which skills actually matter. Consider a common example: writing professional reports. In the past, producing a clear, structured document required practice. Analysts spent years learning how to organize arguments, summarize data, and present ideas in a convincing way. Now imagine two employees preparing a report. One has years of experience, the other joined the team recently. Both use the same AI writing assistant to generate drafts, improve structure, and refine wording. The final documents may look almost identical. The experienced employee still understands the topic more deeply, but the visible difference between the two reports becomes much smaller. AI has narrowed the gap in output, but it has not removed the gap in understanding. This pattern appears across many types of work. Programmers use AI tools to generate code suggestions. Marketers use them to draft campaign copy. Researchers use them to summarize large volumes of information. These tools often reduce the time required to produce a competent result. For organizations, that can be extremely valuable. Tasks that once required specialized expertise can now be completed faster and by more people. But this shift also changes how skill is expressed. If AI helps many workers reach a similar baseline of output quality, traditional indicators of expertise become less visible. The skill gap does not disappear. It moves somewhere else. One area where the gap may widen is judgment. AI systems can generate answers, summaries, and recommendations, but they still depend on the questions they receive and the context in which they are used. Two people using the same system may receive similar suggestions, yet one person may immediately recognize where the output is misleading, incomplete, or irrelevant. The difference lies in interpretation. Understanding when to trust a system and when not to becomes an important skill. Another emerging skill is framing. AI tools often perform best when problems are clearly defined. A vague request can produce vague results, but a carefully framed question can lead to much more useful outputs. Experienced professionals often understand how to break complex problems into smaller pieces. They know which constraints matter and which variables are important. When they interact with AI systems, this ability becomes valuable. The system produces the content, but the human defines the direction. There is also the skill of system awareness. AI tools rarely operate in isolation. They interact with databases, workflows, and human decision processes. Understanding how these systems fit together can determine how effective they become. Some workers treat AI tools as simple assistants. Others learn how to combine multiple tools, structure inputs carefully, and integrate outputs into broader processes. The difference can dramatically affect results. In this sense, expertise may shift from producing outputs to orchestrating systems. There is a reasonable counterargument. Some observers argue that AI will eventually reduce the importance of expertise altogether. As models improve, they may handle increasingly complex tasks without requiring much guidance. From this perspective, the skill gap may shrink over time rather than change shape. There is some evidence for this trend. Modern AI systems already perform tasks that once required significant training. But even highly capable systems still rely on context, interpretation, and goal setting. They generate possibilities, not final responsibility. Human judgment remains necessary to decide which outcomes actually make sense. This shift creates second-order effects inside organizations. If traditional expertise becomes harder to observe through visible outputs, evaluating performance may become more difficult. A polished report may no longer reveal how deeply someone understands the topic. Managers may need to pay closer attention to reasoning processes, decision quality, and long-term outcomes rather than surface-level work products. The signals of expertise move deeper into the workflow. It may also change how individuals build careers. In the past, mastery of specific technical tasks often defined professional growth. Over time, those tasks may become partially automated. What remains distinctive is the ability to interpret complex situations, ask the right questions, and guide systems toward meaningful results. The emphasis shifts from execution to judgment. None of this means traditional expertise becomes useless. Deep knowledge still matters. In fact, it may become more valuable in environments where automated tools generate large volumes of plausible-looking outputs. Someone still needs to recognize which ideas are correct, which are flawed, and which require further investigation. Experience helps provide that perspective. But the visible signals of expertise may change. The most important skills may become less about producing perfect outputs and more about shaping the process that produces them. As AI tools spread across professions, many forms of work will start to look more similar on the surface. Documents will appear polished, analyses will be well structured, presentations will be clear and consistent. But beneath that surface, differences in judgment, framing, and system understanding will still exist. They may simply become harder to see. And in many cases, those hidden skills may determine who actually performs best in an AI-assisted world.